Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. In today's video, just going to break it down to one of my all-time favorite ZZ Top tunes. This is a song I've been playing off and on for decades. Quite literally decades. We played this in my very first band back when I had just turned 21 and was able to play in bars and stuff. Played it in a cover band and been playing it off and on ever since. It's I Thank You. And it has just some really kind of cool classic rock, blues rock, just staple stuff. All right, so let's break it down. Starting with the, I'll say, intro. Okay, so we have this kind of A drone, the open A right here. Now, they actually, I believe, do it with a clean tone. I have the overdrive on, and just so I can kind of, I'm just going to back off on my volume a little bit to get it cleaned up a little bit. But this is kind of a classic blues move. If we have A, and we basically take like the top of a C, kind of like a C power chord over top. So we have that G and that C right there, but still with the open A below it. It creates kind of an A minor 7 sound. And then when we go to here, which is at the 7th fret, we have an A and a D. And that kind of gives us like a D power chord, still with that A bass. So we have a light palm mute on the A. So I get just a little bit of palm mute, not a ton, but a little bit, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. We have the open G and D string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're back to an A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now we have. Okay, so this, we're going to, of course, kind of the lead comes in, so I'll turn up my volume a little bit. We're going to take, my pinky's going to be planted at that G, at the 8th fret of the 2nd string. I'm going to use, notice not just my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, but also my middle finger, maybe even my 1st finger. We want to get that nice solid. You can hear that it's a nice harmony when you get this to the right point. If you go not far enough, you can kind of hear. You want it to blend. If I go too far, same problem. We want that nice blend. So you have to kind of gauge where that is. And I'm going to go 1 and I'm going to bend it up right away, but then I'm going to start to release it. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. When I get to 4, I'm going back to the C here with my 1st finger at the 5th fret of the 3rd string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. And I'm just going, again, back and forth between the open A and the 7th fret at the 4th string. Sorry, so that's also an A. Now, when we get more into the song, I'll say in earnest, after that intro, you know, we have this bouncing between the A's. There's this little buildup right before the verse starts. It's kind of a disco move. But it works, even with some overdrive on it. So I'm playing the F sharp at the 2nd fret on the 6th string, and the F sharp at the 4th fret of the 4th string. So it's like I'm playing a power chord, but I'm just playing the outer notes, and I just keep moving that up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, then once the vocal kicks in, we have like, kind of like the beginning, just that again. sorry. Okay, then we have this little move. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 4, and 1, and 2. And this is an E, 7th fret, and the G sharp, and it goes down to the D and the F sharp. Keeps going through this thing. Goes through that a bit, and then eventually we're going to go down to an E minor. Kind of bring it around again. And for that E minor, okay, so when you're doing, it goes for quite a while. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4. When it goes down to the E minor, I hear a little bit of this in there. So if you think of an E minor 7, 7th fret, 9th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret, but I'm not playing that really. I'm just playing the top little bit. And then of course that little walk up, so. And the way I kind of like to grab that is actually a little bit different. That B on the top, I don't know, it's one of those things where sometimes I feel like I hear it, sometimes I don't. I tend to play it more like this, so I almost play like a G power chord with a 4th string root. You may have never done that before, but that's a G, a D, and a G, 5th, 7th, and 8th fret. And I add my middle finger down here to get that E bass. That's an E minor 7 chord also. This is kind of the way I've always played it. I think it sort of is up for debate. You could play it up here. Get the 12th fret across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. That would also work. And then it just hangs here for a while. And you can do that with 1 finger or 2 fingers. And then this is a really, really cool lick. And this is, of course, my favorite part. This is what I really wanted to get to. We had to get through the rest of the chords and stuff to get to the good stuff. So here's what we're doing. So I'm going to take the 7th fret on the 2nd and 3rd string, kind of bend them up halfway, and then release. Then hit the 5th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings, and then the 7th fret on the 4th string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and that's the 5th fret on the 4th string. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So G, 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 A, C, A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 times. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so then, and while that's all going on, in the background is just A. Again, sort of that power chord, just playing the lower part and the higher part of the power chord. G, D, A, G, D. So that's what we're soloing over. So it's, you know, A minor blues. That little part there, That often also works very well over any kind of A minor blues sounding thing. And I don't really want to get into it. It comes from the Dorian scale, which is often a good replacement. All you really have to know is that it kind of always works. So especially over something like this. So you could use any A minor pentatonic type thing. And what I encourage you to do is to mess around with things that are rhythmically the same. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And, okay, so try and get that rhythm, but make something up. 1 and 2 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 1 and 2. And you see, it kind of makes, it's a cool way to practice improvising. It's a little bit of a side note, but you're using what I call the rhythm figures and applying them, taking your notes, but their rhythm figures. And it's just a really, really great way to improve your soloing. And I know that doesn't have anything to do with this song, but it's such a great opportunity to bring that up that I'm bringing it up. Okay, last little bit. So we do that 3 times. Now, why? I don't know. This would never be my first choice. It's kind of A major. And he hits the C to C sharp and then the 2 E's. The open E and the 5th fret on the 2nd string. I don't really know why. And then we do that 7th fret bend. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And by the time we get to 4, so we kind of do that same thing like we did in the beginning, where we just bend that 7th fret up. And in Billy Gibbons fashion, as he brings it down, he starts to use some pinch harmonics. Now, I don't want to get too crazy on the pinch harmonics. I have another video on how to do pinch harmonics. Pinch harmonics are, if you can do them, great. If you can't, you could potentially spend way longer trying to get to the point that you can do a pinch harmonic than trying to play this lick. So I'm not gonna delve into the pinch harmonic thing right now, but that's what this is. And really it's just a matter of landing on that last beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then you're back to the... and all the same stuff that we did before. And like I said, you know, as is always, the funnest part is the solo. That's really what I wanted to show you, because it's just a really, really cool thing. But I felt like I should sort of show you some of the rhythm elements as well. So it's a really... By many standards, it's a really easy solo. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's the same idea 3 times in a row, and kind of basically just a little coming off of a bend for past that. That's really all there is to it. It's not that complicated. And I love to find these examples of these classic, you know, solos that have withstood the test of time that really aren't that complicated. They're really pretty straightforward. And I hope that can show you that it doesn't have to be super complex to sound killer and really make a great statement. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you can try it out. I'm sure, you know, the tab is available. You know, in the modern world, tab to stuff like this is super easy to find. So no, I don't have the tab for it. If you really want to learn every last little detail and every last single chirp and squeak, you can take a look at the tab. But I don't like to approach songs that way. I don't think it's helpful, nor do I have the patience for it. I tend to just get in the ballpark and try to make it sound like them using my ear and what feels good and what sounds good to me. Honestly, I'd rather you do the same. I'd rather you just do your best to try to play along with what I've showed you. Try to play along with the recording of it, and don't just jump into, oh, I gotta have a tab in front of me or I can't play it. That's really not the case. I think you've got enough tools that you can do it. So I hope you'll give it a shot. As always, if you dig the video, if you think you have friends that would enjoy this, that play guitar, please share it with them. I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.